An ancient emperor, a sign in the sky, the end of ancient paganism, and now another sign that represents the return of paganism and threatens the end of Christianity. This is Jonathan Cahn. In the Return of the Gods, I open up the mystery that lies behind everything that's happening right now, changing our culture, changing our nation, changing our world, touching our families, even touching your life, and the spirits that have returned, that are the catalyst behind it all. Where is it going? Where is it heading? And how to be prepared for what is coming and to prevail. Almost 2,000 years ago, Western civilization transformed from a pagan civilization to a Christian one. It happened by the power of the gospel and the transformation of lives, one life at a time. But as far as the transformation of the empire or the government and the order of the Roman Empire itself, it's centered on the Emperor Constantine. As he headed into battle, he saw a sign in the sky and words rendered in Latin, in hoc signo vinces, a translation of the Greek and tautoi nika, in this conquer, or in this sign conquer. The sign that appeared in the sky was the sign of the cross. The cross became the sign of the transformation of a pagan civilization and culture into a Christian one, as crosses appeared everywhere, replacing the signs that had stood for the gods, the pagan gods and pagan civilization. But in the Return of the Gods, I reveal that as America and the West, as they turn away from the gospel, the ancient gods or spirits that were cast out then, when the Western civilization was cleansed of these things in ancient times, they've now returned to America and the West. So what would we expect to happen? What would be the sign of their coming, of their repossessing America and the Western world? One, we would see the removal, we'd expect to see the removal of crosses. That's exactly what we've seen. The crosses appearing in Rome were the sign that the gods had disappeared. So the gods coming back, we would start seeing the removal of the crosses. Crosses have been taken down across America and the West, from courthouses, from government buildings, from schools, from public places all over. It's hard to even imagine they were there. They were there. At the same time, they've been replaced by another sign. There's another sign, one above all, that has come into government buildings, into public places, into schools, into libraries, into airports, all over. What sign? One of the signs linked to a pagan principality, a goddess that I identify in the Return of the Gods as the Enchantress, was the sign of the rainbow. She was the first principality connected to the rainbow that's recorded. And who was she? She was the goddess of sexuality and the blurring of the lines of gender, the altering of male and female, man and women. And so now the words in this sign conquer apply to the sign of the rainbow, which is replacing the sign of the cross and appearing everywhere. As the rainbow replaces the cross as the omnipresent sign of Western civilization, it is the sign of a Christian or biblically based civilization now morphing, changing, turning, transforming into a pagan one. And yet the power of the cross is still greater than any sign that represents it, as it always was and always will be. And it is more powerful than any force of government or culture. You who know God, stand strong in the power of the cross and stand bold to proclaim the gospel of salvation, which is love, which is the nature of the cross. Especially now, be a light into the darkness. This is just a taste of the mystery revealed in full in the latest book I've written, The Return of the Gods. The Return of the Gods, as you can see, is behind everything that is affecting our world right now, changing it. The mystery, you'll know with crystal clarity what is happening and why it's happening and where it's going. What is the future? How to be prepared? What do you need to know? How to prevail? Next time, coming up, we had no idea what we were doing when we opened the door to the spirits. Hit subscribe because you don't want to miss it. This is Jonathan Cahn. I'll see you next time, coming up with America's Pandora box. Exorcised it, that had cast out the spirits, what the Bible calls the daimonia, from which we get the word demonic. America didn't realize what it was doing. It was removing its hedge.